How's it going, everybody? Welcome to JRsCorner. I am JR. I'm sure you're all aware of that by now. But for anybody that might be watching this that is new to the channel, I'm JR. My name's JR. I go by JR. Everybody calls me JR. Or Jar if you say it fast. So anyways, got a little adventure ahead of me today. I'm currently in Provo. Actually, no, I'm not in Provo. I'm near Provo, Utah. I'm actually in the town of Payson, heading south to Phoenix. Gonna do a quick review on this car over the course of my journey today and just let you know my thoughts. All right, should be an interesting one. Just getting on the road here from Payson. I'm driving a 2020 Ford Fusion Platinum, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not much of a Ford guy. When I was a mechanic for Ford back 10 years ago or so, our dealership was a Ford Dodge dealer, meaning we sold all Ford products and all Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler products. And the Fords by far broke a lot more than anything else. We sold more Dodges at the dealership, and the Fords broke more often. And so because of that and a lot of other reasons, I'm not a big Ford guy. I'm not a big Ford guy. They're a pain in the butt to work on. So anyways, 2020 Ford Fusion. You know, so far, other than this ugly brown, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going to keep driving. I've got a long ways to go today. About a 10, 11 hour drive. We're gonna see if we can make it 8 or 9, and then I parked my TL at the airport so that I could just drop it off at the airport rental place and go home from there. So, go from there. You know, so far it's good. My first impression is it's a good-looking car. Particularly this one with it clean. The brown I'm not a big fan of. I'm renting the car. The guy at Enterprise said that they call this like Falcon Brown or something. I don't know. Anyways, this one's got a lot of gadgets on it. A lot of cool things that I've noticed so far. My favorite feature personally is the air-conditioned seats, because I live in Arizona and I like leather seats, and why not have some cold air blowing on you? So that's one of my favorite features on cars right now. My buddy's Durango that I did the struts on, that one also has air-conditioned seats, so I'm always turning that thing on whenever I get in the truck. Looks like a pretty fancy stereo control dash here. It wants to sync to my phone whenever I plug my phone into charge, which I don't know that. Obviously, I'm going to look into that a little bit just to kind of mess with it and see how it all works. I hate the knobs, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. But the twist knobs for, like, it's an automatic, so you don't need a big old lever. But I hate the twist knobs. It just something about it just seems weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old dude that just, you know, can't handle new technology or something. I don't know. But I don't like the twisty knobs. The Dodge Rams that I've driven have them. This has it. I suppose it's probably the way of the future as far as how they're going to be doing those. I just kind of find them weird. And I also, this one has the electronic e-brake, which a lot of new cars have. I absolutely, without a doubt, hate the electronic e-brake. It defeats the purpose of an e-brake, because if you're driving, it won't let you use it. It uses it as a parking brake to hold the car when parking. Well, it's an emergency brake. That's what it was built for originally, was to be able to slow the car down if your brakes fail or something happens to where you can't stop. That's why it's attached with a cable on older cars, is so that you can just pull up on a handle, stop the car, or push a lever, stop the car, safely, and figure out what's wrong. These electronic ones don't let you do that, because as soon as you pull up on it, it flashes and says you're moving, or whatever. Put the car in park and then we'll talk. So anyways, I'm gonna get on the road. I'm already on the road. I'm gonna keep going on the road. I'm gonna keep driving, and we'll touch back in a little bit. Everything was going good. Cruising right along, minding my business, enjoying the scenery. Then this happened. Oh no, I'm a lose. Okay, well that was fun and exciting. Back on the road, got pulled over. I'm an idiot. So I was the road I'm taking down to Phoenix. It's Highway 89, which is a 2-lane highway basically. And it goes down through some pretty areas, past Bryce Canyon, and you can get to Zions National Park. A lot of scenic areas. Goes through Page, Arizona, past Lake Powell, etc. Right? There's a bunch of small towns scattered through this stretch of road, and every small town, the speed limit goes from 65 down to like 35 or 40. So I was rolling through this town, and in the towns, the road is 2 lanes each direction. Because there's a lot of tourists and stuff that come through here with their trailers and stuff. And so it allows the regular traffic to pass all of those slower vehicles. And as I'm leaving town and the lanes are merging back together, there's 2 trucks and a Prius in front of me. And they're all going, 60, 65, 70 maybe. And I'm like, I'm going to get in front of all these people because I'm not getting stuck behind a Prius, etc. So, first opportunity I had, pass each one at a time. And then I just go about my business, not thinking twice about it. Well, the freeway out here, the speed limit is 80. And so I had my cruise control set at 80 from when I was on the freeway. And this road's bumpy. This road's very bumpy. Ugh. So anyways, cruise control set at 80. So as soon as I pass everybody, I just hit my cruise. See that it's kind of high, but I bump it down a few ticks. I don't need to be like going crazy or nothing. And just keep it moving. And I look in my mirror after a little ways, and I watched one of the trucks pass the Prius. And it was a newer It was a newer F350 diesel 4-door long bed, big old truck, right? Didn't think anything of it, and I was like, yeah, that Prius was going pretty slow. And so, you know, I'm just minding my business and just cruising along, keeping my eye on the road. And I look in my mirror again, and all of a sudden that truck is behind me with police lights flashing. And I was just like, oh, like it took a minute for it to register that this big truck was a cop. Because it didn't have any lights, it was like an undercover one where you can't really tell. I had actually seen from behind, before I passed it, I had seen the truck. I had seen there was a second antenna up on the front of the truck. But you're on the middle of nowhere, so a lot of these guys out here will run a CB radio or something like that. I figured that's all it was. Didn't think twice about it. Didn't even look at him when I passed him to see if he had lights all over his freaking grill. Anyways, so got pulled over, got cited, for doing, he said he clocked me at 81, which I don't know how he clocked me at 81 because my cruise was set to 79. Either way, close enough, right? Gave me a ticket for 75 in a 65. And apparently they don't have any sort of options for traffic school because he just said, yeah, just call him up and pay it over the phone or mail it in. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's just looking for a paycheck. So, that's that. You know, it's an adventure. You can't complain on it. But if you're one of my boys watching, don't do it. Don't get pulled over because I'm paying the insurance. Actually, they haven't got their license yet, so we're good. But have slowed down for a minute because, you know, you don't know if he's radioed ahead or anything, or if he's gonna try to catch up and follow you or whatever. But I think I'm safe now. I think I've moved far enough along to get back up to my normal traveling speeds. I just got to be careful. I don't need another ticket today. That would be bad. So, do need to make good time. Do not need any more tickets. And, you know, I have been thinking for quite some time, actually, about getting the Valentine 1 radar detector. And I've been trying to for the longest time. And they've been out of stock. And I know they just come out with a new version of the Valentine one here not too long ago. So I think I'm gonna have to make that investment because if there's one thing to know about me, it is something that I apparently like to get speeding tickets. I get speeding tickets. You know, the older I've gotten better at it, but clearly I still have the issues. So yeah, got a speeding ticket. Got to pay 120 bucks within the next 2 weeks. Lame. But whatever, it is what it is. My own fault. I guess it's time to get my foot back on the floor so we can make some good time. Got to get to Phoenix sooner rather than later because I don't want to be driving all night. I really don't. I just drove up to Utah, let's say Friday. So I just drove up on Wednesday, a couple days ago. So I'm really not feeling, you know, my body was kind of like in chill mode from driving that drive, and now I'm driving again. So I want to get home. I want to get back to my TL. let's do a quick update. So I was thinking about this a little bit ago while I was driving. I think this interior color is ugly. So what we're gonna do is leave a comment if you think it's ugly or if you think it looks nice, one way or the other. Okay? And then if you have actually, hold up. So when it comes to ugly interiors, what's the ugliest interior, like the color, that you've actually seen or driven or whatever? For me, even though this brown is kind of a weird color for me, it's not the ugliest. The ugliest would be back when I was working with Jeep as a tech in the Jeep Commanders. They, you know, and if you don't know what the Jeep Commander is, it was a weird looking box shaped SUV thing that they rolled out. And I think their initial attempt at the Commander was to try to take a stab at the Range Rover market, which I understand Range Rovers are nice and everything, but quality is terrible, so it's not that hard to beat the quality. But the interior was nice, and clearly they didn't hold because they're not around anymore. But there was a little bit of a niche that a group of people that liked them, because there was a lot of them out on the road at one point in time. But I don't know, I can't remember the last time I saw a Jeep Commander out on the road. And the other thing about it is, a lot of people that had Jeep Commanders went with the worst version you could have in the V6. This thing came with the 5.7 Hemi, and a lot of people were throwing the little I think it was a 3.7 liter V6 in it, which, why would you do that? Why would you? See, I have an issue with that. Let me just vent here real fast. It's a distraction. It's off topic. I do that. It is what it is. Vehicles that are supposed to have a V8, why would you buy it in a V6? And I'm talking about everybody. So the Commander is the example that got me on this tangent. But trucks, the Dodge Ram comes in a freaking V6. Ew, gross. The Durango I understand, but it was built to hold the Hemi. Why are you gonna throw a V6 in it and whatever? My buddy's is a V6 and whatever. He wishes it was a Hemi all the time, so whatever. The Camaros, the Mustangs, the Chargers, the 300, I don't know if the Challenger comes in. Yes, the Challenger does come in a V6. It's like, why? These cars are meant to have V8s in them. If you're too broke to buy it with the V8, you shouldn't. Don't get it. Save your money. It's like another $5,000, and you can have yourself more power than you can handle. And we all know more power is better, right? So. So yeah, anyways, back to pre-tangent conversation. So ugliest interior. Jeep Commanders were by far the ugliest. It was just a weird, really kind of gross looking reddish brown mess. And like I said, they pushed these as a way, I think, to compete with the Range Rovers, whatever. I mean, they were, like, if you like that, you need to get your eyes checked. Personally, it was really gross. I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll post it on here. If I do, I'll make it so you can see a picture on here. So here's what we're going to do.'t all, you're going to comment, like I said. Comment if you like this brown, yes or no. And then I'm on Instagram, for those of you who don't know. I want you to tag me in a picture that you post on Instagram of a vehicle interior that you feel is the worst. Okay? So tag me on Instagram. It's JRsCorner. That's my tag on Instagram. Post a picture of what you think is the ugliest interior, and tag me in it so that I can see, because I'm kind of curious. Like, you know, obviously a lot of these companies use colors like this in the name of luxury, but you couldn't get me to buy a car with this color interior with a 10, you know, like, no way in the world. You couldn't give me this car. Okay, maybe you could give it to me, no questions asked. Give it to me, I'll sell it, I'll buy a car with a decent interior. Anyways, but I will say this, I will give them the credit. The car, even though the color I don't care for, the seat itself is comfy. It's nice having the cooled seats, like I mentioned before. It does have the heated seats. It's easy, as far as easy to use as far as the console here. So far, so good. So far, I'm actually liking the car overall. I have my complaints. There are things with the car that I'm just like, don't care for. One of them being, I absolutely hate with a passion the feature on the newer cars where when you come to a stoplight, it kills your engine. I don't know why, but I hate it. It drives me bonkers. And there's no way to turn it off, so it doesn't work. There's a thing I tried to click on for auto on off. I figured that would be it. Nope, not it. So, I don't know. Just have to deal with it. I'm only in the car for 24 hours, if that. So, not a huge deal either way. But, you know, it's just one of those nuisances that I don't really care for. So, anyways, I'm going to stop yammering. And we'll get back to some time lapse of the drive in this 2020 Ford Fusion. I don't know if you heard that, but the engine just shut off because I came to a stop, and now it started again. Lame. I don't like it. And they actually do that in the name of fuel economy, but you're sacrificing fuel economy. You're getting fuel economy. How much are you really saving? Getting fuel economy, but you're sacrificing life of your starter and wear on your engine is a return, because the startup part of driving is probably the hardest part of driving. Ooh, we got a cop. Let's do a cop. That one's got more stickers on it than the one I saw. Okay, so coming up right here, as you might be able to see, if you can read the signs, I don't know if you can. There's a left turn right up here. This left turn takes you to Bryce Canyon National Park, which is a pretty cool place. Let's see if I can get a video of that really fast. You can kind of see the... do this without causing problems. I have to put you back in there. Anyways, Bryce Canyon National Park. A lot of red rock. really pretty. I have been there quite a few times. Probably one of my favorite places to stop. If for nothing else, but the very first stop, once you get inside the park, it's like the shot you see everywhere when it comes to Bryce Canyon. So, I'll see if I can dig up some pictures. I'm not stopping there today, obviously, but I'll see if I can dig up some pictures to show you. In case you ever want to go check it out for yourself, it's pretty cool. But, looks like I'm coming up on some construction traffic, so that's boring for you. So let me just shut this down and, we'll come back to it. I'll come back to it in a little bit and talk more. Bryce Canyon National Park right there. Picture, we'll post it. See you in a little bit. Notice something that is a little bit of a nuisance. The car, like, you know, if you come up on something or a turn or whatever where I have to hit the brakes to slow down to make the turn, and then I go and I reset my cruise. When I reset my cruise, the car gives me a warning that I need to take a rest. Now, mind you, I just took a rest, like not even an hour ago. And the car, because I left it running, because I slept and took a nap in the car, see, now it's saying again, driver alert, warning, rest now. I don't know why it's giving me that alert, but I'm a little bit annoyed by it. I did leave the car running while I was taking my power nap just because it's warm outside, wanted the AC, whatever. Like, to me, that's not, it shouldn't be a big deal. But now all of a sudden the car's freaking out every few minutes, telling me that I need to rest when I've already taken a nap. And most of the time I can do this trip without any sort of napping at all. So I don't, you know, I can see how some people might appreciate that feature. To me, it is an absolute nuisance, and I would want to figure out how to turn that off because that is annoying. Otherwise, you know, just driving. So we're gonna roll up on Lake Powell here. I'll put it back on time lapse, and we'll stop at Glen Canyon Dam and take a few pictures, and then we will be in Page. And Page, I'm gonna stop and get gas and maybe see if I can find some place to grab a bite to eat. Page is technically our halfway point, and it's the nice thing about going into Arizona is I gain an hour. Right now, because I'm in Utah, they're on Mountain Daylight Savings, I want to say. So it's 5:13 in Utah right now, and so Arizona, where the Arizona doesn't change time, Arizona is currently on Mountain Standard Time, I want to say, which means that it's the same as Pacific Time right now. So I'll gain an hour. It'll be 4 whatever here in a little bit, and per Google Maps, it's got me getting to the airport where my car is about 8:30ish. Obviously that'll depend on how the rest of the drive goes. But yeah, that's all for now. So we will keep it moving. Alright everybody, back at it, just getting back on the road. I am leaving Page, Arizona, as you can see by the pictures and whatnot. Went through Lake Powell, or drove past it anyways, and stopped in Page, got some gas, got me a sandwich so I can eat, and time to get back on the road. Page is generally a halfway point for the trip. It's about an hour and a half or so from here to Flagstaff, and then a few hours from Flagstaff into Phoenix. But once we get to Flagstaff, we'll be back on a freeway where we can go a little faster without having to worry about having any sort of other problems. So this area is really pretty. If you have never been here, I highly recommend coming through here. Up here, I'm going to point it out to you. I'm going to flip it around. Right up here on the right is the parking lot. I don't know if you can see that structure right there in the camera very well, but that structure right there, oh, it's behind the hill now. That is the parking lot for the Horseshoe Overlook, which is a very popular place for tourists to visit. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you look it up. Just Google it and you'll see some pretty amazing pictures. That's where that is. Go in there, and then it's a quick little hike up over the couple of hills and then out over the river there. But so this river that makes Lake Powell, Glen Canyon Dam, and then carves through these mountains over here, I believe it's the Colorado River, and from here it goes towards Vegas, and is there collected as part of Lake Mead, which is another man-made lake similar to Lake Powell, only Lake Mead's a lot more open there's not as much rocks and caverns and all of that stuff. I don't know if they'd be called caverns, crevices. I don't know what they're called. But Lake Mead's a pretty big open lake. Lake Mead is a man-made lake by the Hoover Dam, which if you go from Arizona to Vegas, you drive over the Hoover Dam, or close to it. You used to drive right over it, but when they redid it, they put a bridge up, offset it, and now you can just, it's like more like a tourist thing. Anyways, Arizona. We're in Arizona now. Back on Mountain Standard Time. Wanted to point something out because I mentioned I took a nap in Kanab, and I'm trying to share some of the sites on top of talk about the car, because I'm just giving it a good road trip, right? One of the things about the car that I noticed is, including my nap, because I had the car running when I was taking my nap, and it was about 45 minutes or so. Including my nap, I'm currently sitting at 27.1 miles per gallon. The other trip that I reset after my nap and has been counting since then is at 28.8. I'm gonna reset that one because page, like I mentioned before, is kind of a halfway point. I'm gonna leave the first one the way it is. I'm gonna put this one reset, and we'll just see where it ends up, how far off they both end up are from each other. Maybe how far did my nap skew things, and I guess that'll also speak for the terrain and the driving going forward as well. So still okay with the car. That message thing that I was talking about earlier with the telling me to take a rest, oh, that was getting very annoying because it was popping up every like 5 minutes. And clearly it has no idea when I actually took a break, so I don't know why they decided it would be a good idea to put that in there, because I did take a break, it just never counted it. So gonna go ahead and you guys see that Camaro right there? Right there, you see that Camaro? I think it's just a V6, but it's like, it caught up to me quick. It was clear back there a minute ago. Anyways, gonna keep on driving, do a little bit more time lapse, try to get to Flagstaff in a decent amount of time, and check in with you in a little bit later. Bye. Take two. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but I got pulled over again. Oh, good grief. So I got pulled over again. I don't think I was going as fast as he said I was going, because I had my cruise control set, and I've been a little bit more careful since earlier this morning, and so there's no way in the world I was going as fast as he says I was going. Again, speed. Maybe I need to get me a Valentine wine. I think this is a good proof that it needs to happen at this point. Anyway, let me fix this. So he pulls me over. Let me tell you what was going on before he pulled me over. So you saw in the clip. I think I got in the clip where you see him going that way. There was the red Camaro in front of me, which blew by me and then left me in the dust. Right? Past the cop. I saw the Camaro pass the cop. And then shortly after the Camaro passes the cop, he kicks his lights on. But he kicks his lights on as he's approaching me. Which normally that would be like either he's pulling the guy he was behind over, or he was pulling me over. So I was like, all right, you know, one thing I've learned when it comes to cops, if you pull over, if you think they're after you and you pull over and wait for them to catch up instead of them having to chase you down, you're more likely to get in their good graces. Because you have to remember that when it comes to the cops, you know, if you work with them and you try to do them a favor with whatever traffic or interaction you're going to have, they're going to, in most occasions, unless you are dealing with a crappy cop, they're going to reciprocate that back to you in the form of favors. If you're in big trouble, they may not make it quite as bad as it could be. In my case, I look like a dirt because my wrist is hurting me. I don't know why. I'm getting old. Anyways, it's really sore. Anyways, so in my case, as soon as he passed me with his lights on, I was like, crap, I think that's for me. Even though I was doing like 73, 4 in a 65. Most of the time they won't get you for that. Especially since there was a Camaro like that took off and, you know, was like way up there. I'm gonna pass this semi real fast. I'm only gonna do 80 to pass him. You know, no bigs. Oh, there goes that driver alert warning rest suggested thing again. That annoying crap. Anyways, so I pulled over. I watched in my mirror, waited for him to flip around. When he flipped around, I was like, oh, he's coming to get me. I knew he was. And so I just found a spot that I could pull over, and I pulled over and I let him come to me, basically. I didn't make him catch up to me. I still got a piece of paper, but this time it's just a warning. He said he clocked me at 78, right, in a 65. Let's see if that's what he put on here. Yeah, that is what he put on here. Approximately 78 and a 65. Speed greater than reasonable and prudent. So anyways, he clocked me at 78. I don't think I was going 78. At least the car wasn't showing me that. So that's happened twice now. It's making me start to question the accuracy of this speedometer, because I wasn't going that fast. And the Camaro that was in front of me was definitely going faster than me. In fact, when the cop came back up, I said to him something to the effect of, you know, I'm surprised you kicked your lights on for me, because that Camaro that was in front of me was flying. And he's like, yeah, there's pretty much every Camaro speeding at some point. Like, I could pull over every Camaro if I wanted to. It's like, okay, then why didn't you pull them over? Like, it didn't make sense. So, I don't know. Luckily, it's just a warning. So, one ticket, one warning, one Ford Fusion that seems to attract police officers, whether it be an inaccurate speedometer, whether it be a heavy foot on my end, even though I was using cruise control. Don't know. Anyways, enjoy some more scenery. Very nice drive through there. I really like seeing that. I don't know if you can tell, but we are definitely getting back into town here now. Rolling up on Flagstaff, which is good because that just means I got a couple hours left down the canyon, and then I will be back in Phoenix where it's nice and hot. Too hot. Too hot. Let's just agree with that. Too hot. I am going to stop at the mall here in Flagstaff and see if I can't get some good shots for you of this car. It's a little bit of a mess just because I got my snacks and whatever going on, but I'm going to try to clean it up here a little bit and get a few pictures so you can kind of see what this interior looks like, and then also get a feel for what we're working with. Overall, I mean, obviously long term, I don't know what the reliability aspect of this car is. Overall, it seems like it's a pretty decent car. Seats are okay. I mean, my butt's getting sore just from sitting all day, but that's gonna happen just about anything. Got pulled over twice. Don't know if, I assume it's my fault both times. We're just gonna say that I assume it's my fault both times, but I don't know if there's a possibility if the speedometer could be off. I don't know. I would think not because it's a brand new car or a newer car, but so yeah, let's get to the mall, take some pictures, and go. So overall statistics, this is a 2020 9,000, I'm at 42 miles now, 9,042, 2-liter Ecoboost, so it's a 4-cylinder with I don't know how many speed transmission. I haven't been counting and it doesn't tell you. I'm gonna assume it's probably like a 6-speed or maybe a 7-speed. I'll look it up and I'll make a note in the video right here, just so that we're all on the same page. It does have a sport mode. It does have paddle shifters to go along with that sport mode. And it feels like it's got a decent amount of get up and go. So this one I'm going to say 4-star. I say the interior is a little bit more comfy than the TLX that I reviewed. It's got more gadgets than the TLX, and it's in the same kind of range as far as size and market share that they're trying to target. So one other thing that I noticed that I did not like is the dashboard seems very far away. I had to extend the steering wheel to be able to feel like I'm driving comfortably, but then that also makes it so that every time I get in and out of the car, it's a struggle, because it makes from the B pillar to the steering wheel a lot narrower than it should be. So, but if I scoot my seat forward more, then my knees are eating the dashboard. So, it's again one of those things. But 4 stars. It's got, for what it is, a 4-cylinder. It's got more zip than the TLX with the K24 in it. The K24 is a 2.4 liter. This is a 2 liter, but it's got the Ecoboost, which means it's got a turbo on it, a small turbo. Yeah, we'll do 4 stars. I am gonna look at the reliability reviews and see where we're at with those, and then I might edit this and change my rating if those come back saying, negatively saying that this longevity wise or quality wise this has had issues, because I haven't really looked at that at all yet. So anyways, it's starting to go dark. I'm rambling on, and so that's my review of this car. Comfy car for a road trip, at least with 9,000 miles on it. Give it another 10,000 miles, and just like any other Ford, you'll probably be pushing it, or calling a tow truck. I don't know. And I say that sarcastically. I'm a very sarcastic person, so all the trolls and haters don't need to be commenting and telling me how wrong I am, because cars are cars, and every manufacturer, I don't care who they are, has issues of one sort or another. Just getting underway with the I just dropped everything off at my car. I want to run through a few final things on this before I turn it back in here in a minute. My trip 1, which was the trip I ran for the entire journey, is at 28.7 miles per gallon, and the other one is at 32 miles per gallon, and that one has been going since after I got pulled over the second time, because I did reset it, because I didn't want any I didn't want it counting time where I'm sitting idle, and so I reset it. I need to go westbound. All right, so I'm gonna go this way. are set. Let's get out of here. Get rid of this piece of crap. Okay, so one of the reasons I'm doing this is an update, obviously. A few last minute thoughts. Obviously, the miles per gallon is pretty good. It's a 4-cylinder, that's to be expected. My Accord, which is freaking 20 years old, gets 27 miles to the gallon if I'm beating the crap out of it. So I don't know how impressive it is that it got 27 when it's a smaller engine. A little bit bigger car maybe, but whatever. So here's the thing though. I have been obviously taking video. I'm a little frustrated by the charging system in this, even more so than I was previously when I expressed it. And here's why. So Flagstaff to where I'm at right now, it's like 2.5 hours, give or take. I had my phone plugged in the entire time. For many sections of that road, my phone was off, like the screen was off. So I'm not using any juice. Normally it would charge really fast when that's the case. Normally it charges fast anyways, but it should charge pretty fast if the screen's off. I went from 5% to 11% in about 2.5 hours. I mean, it was really slow. That's really slow. So when I got to my car, my TL, I plugged my phone in while I was switching everything over. In about maybe 10 minutes tops, I went from 8%, because I'd used it, and so it was down to 8%. I'd gone from 8% to 15%. So I'm not too sure if Ford has the charging, the phone charging down. It seems like it's back to the 2010s with the early iPhones and Blackberries and all that crap for charging technology with the car. And that is the car, because I know the cable's good. I know the cable works just fine. So make of that of what you will. We'll turn some light on so you can see me a little bit, so I'm not completely in the dark. Just running this over to the rental place, and then I should be able to take a bus back to the terminal, I'm hoping, and then get in my car and go home. So I'll leave this at 4 stars, but it's probably more like 3.5 because of that charging thing. Like that, who can function like that? Over the course of the day with my phone plugged in all day, I should have been at 100% regardless of use. And it just sucked the life out of it over the course of the day. Being plugged in helped slow it down a little bit, but all in all, not too happy about that. So yeah, here we are. Gonna drop the car off and go home and go to bed, get some Z's, saw some logs, and dream up the next video, because gotta figure it out sometime, you know, these ideas for videos. Kind of thinking I like the idea of renting new cars, because then I get a good variety of cars. Renting new cars just to review them, I think that would be fun. And for those of you who don't rent cars or don't, you know, do that on a regular basis, it might be something fun educational for you guys to maybe learn a little bit more about each car that we rent. And I don't know, leave thoughts if you want. More than happy to read and review it and go from there. So anyways, I'm getting ready to pull into this rental car place. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please make sure if you like this kind of content, you like and subscribe. Click the little bell so you can get the notifications. And that's going to do it. Every day's a new adventure. Life's too short to not have fun. So that's my word of wisdom for the day. Deuces.